This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so thanks again for attending for today's session. So we'll continue with the session that we have seen yesterday. So yesterday, like we have seen about the basics and what are the syllabus and what are the things available for us to keep up with the APM actually. So let me share my screen. Yes, Sachin, you'll be getting the recordings actually. So every day on a daily basis. So today we are doing the recording. So by tomorrow morning, your time maybe 11 or 12, you should get the recording. Yeah. So every day there will be a recording. So no need to worry about if you skip the class or something. You can always go through the recording. So it will be on a regular basis. Yeah. About network 3G, 4G, no, we don't do the networking part actually. So 3G, 4G, we don't do it up. So enabling, disabling Wi-Fi, all those things we can do it, but 3G, 4G, we don't do it up. Yeah. So that testing we don't do it over here. So there is a separate network layer team available, so they'll be doing it up. So this is only the functional part. We'll be doing it and handling it out, and switching between the Wi-Fi and other things like yeah, we'll be doing it. Yeah. Okay, so any doubts here so far till now? So I am sharing my screen. So any doubts, anything like kindly ping in the chat or you can unmute yourself. So and then we can proceed it up. So over here, if you see it up, so today we'll be seeing couple of concepts which is related to that of your three concepts that we have seen yesterday. So we have seen like what are the different types of apps available in industries or native web application and hybrid application. So we'll be quite exploring on that particular path actually, and also we need to know about how does your APM will work. Okay, so that architecture part will be going into it, and we'll be also doing a setting up of your Android Studio and Xcode inside your Mac and inside your Windows. So those part we'll be seeing it, and after that, if time permits, we'll try to create a simulator. We'll try a few ADB commands over there, and after that, we'll be jumping into your Java basics about your Java. So may I know like how many people are already aware of Java concepts maybe? Just you can type it as a yes if you are aware and no if you are not aware, so that I can know the ratio like how it is. So Sachin is telling yes, yes, yes. Okay, Kiran is telling no. Geeta, yes. Okay, so there is only one person or two. Okay, fine, yeah. Okay, fine. So obviously, like we have it in our syllabus, like since it's from the beginners to the advanced level, so we need to cover that part as well. So the persons who already know Java, like you can give your feedbacks actually. So it will be helpful for the group in case if I miss anything or do something. So that will be really helpful for the group as well. So and your views will always contribute towards your peers. So so that's the request. So obviously we'll go through these things actually. So yeah, so kindly bear with us for some time, maybe a week or half. We'll have the Java session. So kindly bear with us. So again, it will be like a brush up for you. So thanks again for the cooperation. Yeah. So this is about we'll see about the three apps actually today. So maybe if I think like yesterday said like most people work in the mobile application. So can anyone tell like say what is native application? Maybe you can ping it in the chat as well so I can read it out. So what is native application? Any idea? No problem. So basically, when we have like say only for one platform, yeah, exactly. Yeah, thanks Aisha for that. So yeah, it's correct. So only for one platform. So as I could see, like say most of you will be holding your mobile devices. So it can be an Android, it can be an iOS or Windows or anything. It can be there, even a Huawei Honor phone, anything it can be there. So most probably, like say, what happens is like it will be developed for only one particular platform. So it can be an iOS, it can be an Android, it cannot be both. Quite simple as it is, because like in your Android you have your Play Store, and in iOS you have your App Store. So each one is different, so each one is built for their own purpose to serve in the mobile application. So that's the reason you have like say an iOS application and an Android application. And quite recently we have the Huawei as well, the gallery, Huawei gallery, I think, if I'm not wrong. So there also some applications are available. So that is also feasible to automate to a certain extent actually, but it is similar to that of Android. So not a big deal breaker, I would say. So that is how your native application is built. So as the name suggests, native in the sense it can be only for your Android or only for your iOS. It cannot contribute towards both Android and your iOS. And web application, what is okay? So that's what we have mentioned over here. Apps that are written specifically for a platform such as Android or iOS. An Android native app cannot run on iPhone and vice versa. And web application is nothing but it acts on your mobile device web actually. So it can be a Safari or your Chrome or any built-in browser in Android, it should work. So most of our devices will support almost all applications. There might be certain glitches actually between the view you see in your laptop and you see in your mobile device, but apart from that it should work. So based on this, there is a lot of frameworks available in your industry like MERN Native, React, and Angular. All these things will support across all platforms. Okay, so this is how your web application is differentiated. And hybrid is something like it will be a collaboration of both your native and your web application. So here they are web application written in HTML5 and JavaScript wrapped in a native container. Okay, so once I say native container, again it is built for only Android or built for only iOS. So that is how it works. And technically they work as a web, but we have application for it. Okay, so maybe a example would be like say maybe nowadays maybe hybrid may not be available because a lot of people have segregated between Android and iOS. So hybrid might not be a good solution for them. But the thing is like say it exhibits the behavior of Android app, and then like say if you in your devices, like say if you try to uh, uh, maybe mostly in a banking application, maybe if you try to go to a banking app, you log in, and if there is some promotions or offer, if you click on it, so it will be navigating to a web application. So those type of things only we call it as a web apps, or you can call it as a hybrid application. So where the transition happens from your app towards your web application. So this basically like nowadays it's a common thing actually. So they provide a different name, like we call it as a web app instead of hybrid application. So that is how it works actually. So these are the three main segregations, and most probably we'll be dealing with your native applications. So and yeah, so that is how it works. So any doubts over here so far till now? So what is the difference between native, hybrid, and your web application? Okay. So this is just okay. Thank you, Ria. So this is how it works actually. Just a minute. Okay. So this is how it works. So you can ask me like what is the choice of this one? So basically it depends upon the requirement from the client actually. So there is nothing new much nowadays. So usually nowadays like we go with the native applications. So we have a Swift for your Android, for your iOS, and Kotlin or Java for your Android. So that is how it is built. And a hybrid basically it needs a HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and web application. It can be an Angular or a React or a MERN. So these are the technologies on which it has been built up. So the choice of these things depends upon the performance needs, the features, the development time, and the budget constraint. So all these things will contribute towards like which application you need to choose between. So I'll give it like which one to choose. So it depends upon like say three criterias actually I would say. So I can call it like say the performance needs. So how does the performance of the application is coming, and the desired features, and the development time, and then we have the budget. So all this determine like say which application you need to use and which application you need to uh, develop it. So again, this is not in our hands, obviously. So it depends upon the client. So, but all these things will, four things will contribute towards the development of the particular project. Okay. Now let us see, like say, how does your APM will work? Okay. Let me quickly go to another slide over here. Sorry. Okay. So let us see how does your APM will work towards this particular item. Okay. Where is it? Yeah. So this is a generic screenshot like how does your APM will work actually. So you have a laptop or your desktop. So every request to your just a minute. Sorry about that. So here this is the generic picturization of how does your APM will work. So you have your laptop or your desktop. So all your requests are passed on to your APM server with the help of mobile JSON wire protocol. So it's nothing but a simple JSON actually. And from here it communicates to your mobile device. So whether it's going to be an Android or an iOS, not an issue. So it communicates it over there. And your Android or iOS in turn, it uses your bootstrap response. That means again it's going to be a JSON transferred to your APM. And from your APM, the response goes back to you. So how does this happen? We need to have some client library and jar file to make this work. So depending on that only all the requests will be processed to your device. So the in-depth how it will be happening is like say, just a minute. Okay, fine. Yeah, this is the one actually. I'm not sure why it is showing like this, but let me change it a bit really quick. Okay, so this is how it works. So in your interviews, if there might be a question like say, how does your APM will work? So usually your client library. So when I say client library, all the dependencies available we call it as your client library. It sends a REST API, and the REST API communicates with your Appium server as a mobile JSON wire protocol, and this mobile server, in turn communicates this JSON to your emulator or your real device. Okay, and whatever the command the device sends back to you, it will be as a bootstrap jar file in Android specifically, actually, to be more specific, in Android. And this bootstrap jar file converts to understandable format as UI automator. Okay, so UI automator is one more terminology which is used in Android devices, where it is used for conversion of all your JSON and all your actions to input of your device, Android device. Okay, input of your Android device, and UI automator sends the command back to your device as usual. Okay, from the device communicates to your Appium server, and Appium server to your client. So when I say client, it's nothing but your laptop or your desktop, whether the action has been performed or not. So this is going to slightly vary with respect to your iOS actually. So in iOS, how does it work? It's like, say, it's a quite slight change is available. Okay, so slight change is available. So what does your Appium will do? So Appium uses your Apple native XUI test API to interact with your UI. So XUI test is nothing but something which is need to do with your Xcode. So you need to have a Mac in order to do it up. So you need to install your Xcode. So in order to use this XUI test, so it is specific to your iOS. So you need to use this one in order to do your component testing and all those stuffs. So that is the reason, it is more specific towards your iOS, because they have a specific platform in which you need to become a developer module, and then you can access all the library files. Okay, so that is specific to iOS. So but that is a wider part of it, but as a tester we don't need to touch base on that one, so we'll be removing that one. And then we have a client library. So client library is, as usual, our set of library files which is used to communicate with your iOS or your iOS device. So it sends as a REST API, okay, first thing, and the request is sent to Appium. And again, over here, mobile JSON wire protocol is achieved. That means your REST API is converted to a mobile JSON wire protocol and then communicated to your iOS device with the help of Appium server. And the commands, whatever the commands we send it, it will be available, or it will be replicated in the device with the help of your WebDriver agent.app app. Okay, so that means what happens in iOS is, like, say, so every time when you run your or when you trigger your build or trigger your execution on iOS, it will create an application called WebDriver agent in your device, and that particular app is used to communicate all your commands to your desired application. So without this WebDriver agent, your communication doesn't happen. So what does the difference between your Android and iOS makes is, like, this is the difference. In Android you have an UI automator, so I think now the version is 2, UI automator 2, and here we have something called a WebDriver agent. So this WebDriver agent, as soon as you create your developer profile and then you start your application, this WebDriver agent will be a small size packet app, will be created on your iOS device, and that will enable you to communicate all your commands to your application. Okay, so that's what I meant over here: convert to iOS device in an understandable using XUI test, and from the device, the Appium server, using WebDriver agent, it communicates back to your API. Okay, so here the WebDriver agent plays a major role over here. So without, like, say, maybe you might not have seen it, or if you have experienced it, like, it's a good enough actually. So anyhow, we'll be seeing it in our automation scripts how it works. WebDriver agent, how it installs and how does it communicate. Okay, so if you delete your WebDriver agent from your device, don't worry, it will automatically create. So every time when you run it will check for the WebDriver agent. If it is not available, it will reinstall it. So you cannot avoid that one actually. Okay, so this is how the transmission happens from Appium to your iOS and Appium to your Android. So this is the base architecture.
So Arvind can you go to the same slide for
Yeah.
iOS? So XCUI test API is the REST API we are using for iOS.
No, that is a communicator actually. So it is
Uh-huh.
something like an Xcode. So it is an Xcode. So it's an inbuilt tool. So it has a particular project called XUI test through which it communicates. It's not an API. It's just a communicator, I would say. Now it's asking for me to download. I don't want to download it. Okay, let's see. It was already there. Maybe I deleted, I think. Just so XUI test is nothing but it's a tool actually, I would say. So how our Xcode is available over here. So the same tool will be used for your XUI test. Like I can give it XUI. Okay, I need to build an app first for that. So let's see how quick it comes. Just give it a moment. So it's like a communicator only, so nothing to do with that of API. So it's like a middleware, I would say. So without that, it doesn't work.
Okay, thank
Okay,
you.
it's not installing. Just give me a moment. Let me check it. What is the issue? Okay, so any doubts still here so far till now? Okay, it's downloading actually. It will take a little bit of time. Okay, let it download. I'll show it to you. No issues. Okay. Think without downloading it will not work actually. So this is a basic code actually. So how does an app will be basic app will be available? So nothing much towards it. XY test I'll tell you. Yeah. So I think without downloading it might not work. So let's wait for it. Okay. So this is how it works actually. So coming to the installation part. Okay. So first you need to go to google.com. So I'm going to give a generic installation about your Appium. So this is for both Mac and your Windows. So go to google.com. So you can give Appium for desktop, I would say. So this is official website. Where is it download? Okay. I need it via desktop actually. So this is the 2.3 version which is available latest version. So okay. So they're installing it with the help of okay. Okay, fine. So I thought I'll give it as a desktop. So usually for desktop it looks like this. So there's going to be an iOS or a Windows laptop. It will look like this. So let me quickly get that one actually. Okay, it's here. So it will look like this actually, but right now I think it's a deprecated one actually. So you can't use this one. So we need to go to something like, say, first we need to install your Node.js. So through Node.js we can access it up. So what is Node.js is like, say, it is a set of library files in which they keep all the packages and other things which is related to the particular project. So you need to install it up, Node.js, and then it works. So how to install Node.js? Again, go to google.com. Okay, first we'll install the Node.js. Maybe the desktop version is deprecated, I think. So that's why we have it. You can see the project is no longer maintained. Okay, so you need to have your Node.js. Okay, previously there was a desktop version, but still I hold it. So maybe let me check the version. What is the last version? I think it should be less than 1.9. So that's the reason I still have it, and it might not work actually. Okay, so that's the reason we have the Node.js version. So let me quickly check Appium help documentation. It's not found. Yeah. So basically, it doesn't work actually. So that's the reason. Okay. So it might not work properly. So that's the reason we need to have something like a basic one, which is nothing but your Node.js coming to a new one. So Node.js has something called your npm, so which we abbreviated as Node Package Manager. So this will have all the library files required for your Appium installation. Okay, so without this one, you cannot install your Appium. So first things first, go to google.com, Node.js, download, and there is a download version available over here. So I'll ping you this website. Okay, yeah. Can iOS and Android apps automated with Appium developed with Flutter? Yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah, so it doesn't matter. I think like a Flutter is something like it created uh, I think it's the latest one, right? It's an old one, right? If I'm not wrong. So now the latest one is the Swift, right? So correct me if I'm wrong, actually. Yeah, it should work actually. So it shouldn't be a issue. So basically, I think like Flutter is the UI part, and like it's kind of a UI toolkit, I think, actually, for the front end, like how a JavaScript exists for your front end. Flutter is similar to that over there. It's like a one layer on top of your Swift. So it shouldn't matter actually. So it's just a UI. So I don't think so. It will hinder our process. Okay. Okay, does it answer your question? Yeah. Okay. Fine. Yeah. Thank you. Okay. So this is your Node.js part. So depending upon what you're going to use it up. So LTS is a most stable version, I would say. So the latest stable version. So the 20 is the version. So maybe I would advise you to install the 20. So just click on this Windows installer if you're a Windows person. So if you're a Mac, so just use this one. And if you're a Linux, most probably like most people don't use it Linux actually, but still you can use it up for at least Appium. I don't think so. I didn't see anyone using Linux for Appium. So most probably they use the Mac or your Windows. And also Windows is limited towards only your Android. So that is how it works over here. Okay, so either of these two persons, if you are like try to download it, and just it's a simple installation. So if you see it over here, so here itself there will be a guide available, so you don't need to do anything much. Or maybe let me show me my repo actually. So I have an installation guide. Let me quickly pull in that one. Install Node.js. Okay, so let me download this one for you. Yeah. So I'll pass on this document to you so that you can have this one actually. So soon I'll create some repos from the GitHub. I can share it with you so that you can use it for your lifelong. So you can just keep it for your reference actually. So depending upon the OS machine you need to download. So if you're a Windows person, just download this one. If you're a Mac, you can just use this one. And for Windows machine, so specifically check whether you're a 32-bit or a 64-bit. So download the version respectively. Okay. So okay, so that is the one. And for a Windows person, you need to set your environment variables. Okay, so usually you need to set your environment variables for, but for Mac, basically it doesn't require it up actually, because by default the Mac has uh, the privilege to set itself the environment variables. But if you want to change it, you can change that settings as well. So it's also quite flexible. Okay. So how to set your environment variables for your Windows? So just right click your PC over here, and there is something called your about. This is to find out what is your mission. Okay. So you can show more option, and then you can go to about, and then depending upon your mission, whether it's 64 or 32-bit, you can download your Node.js version, which is available over here. And then how to set your environment, sorry, the environment variable is not yet. For Mac it is quite simple, so only one version. But again, if you're holding a previous series of Mac, because again for Mac there is two versions available, like one is the Intel version and another one is the Apple chip. So if you have the Apple chip, like I think like here there is no segregation not required, so just install it because it's common 64-bit and ARM. Okay, so how to check the version? Okay, so once you install it up in your Mac, so you can go to your terminal. Okay, so first I'll show Mac because it doesn't require much of a setting. So you can go to the terminal, you can give like say node space double hyphen version, click on enter, so you get the version available. And similarly the npm is built inside the node, so npm double hyphen version, just give it. So that again should be the latest one. Okay, so you don't install the npm separately, it comes along with your node, so don't need to
Hi,
worry about
Arvind.
it.
Can you hear me?
Yes, now I can hear. Yes, please.
Oh, okay, perfect. So after installing Node.js in Windows, do we need to
Mhm.
do anything like setting up the environmental variables?
Yes, we need to do the environment variable, so which you can, we are coming over here, the next one. Yes.
Oh, which you're going to go up over after?
Yeah. Yes,
Okay, perfect.
yes, after this. Yeah, immediately after this. Yeah, the next topic was this one, environment variables, because Mac doesn't require to set an environment variables, so that's the reason we skipped that part actually, so that it will be easy one. But if you're holding a Windows, like obviously this is the path, so this is my path which I have it. So similarly for you also, after installation, uh, just go through this part, because C users Lenovo is my path. So similarly you should also have the same thing, like it should be obviously C, but users Lenovo is something related to my laptop, so you need to replace it in with respect to your laptop, and go to app data and roaming and then npm. So obviously like this app data will be hidden in all your Windows laptops actually. So just what you can do about to unhide it is like say, so unhide folder in Windows. So there is an option in your ribbon actually. So let me quickly show it up. Okay, not here. So there is a picture should be available. So let me quickly show it up. Yeah, this is the one I was speaking to you about. Oh, so I hope you can see it, right?
Yes.
So I hope you can see it now. So in this ribbon, there is something called hidden items over here. Okay, under your view. So under your view, there is a hidden item. Just check this checkbox. So all your hidden items will be viewable. So inside that hidden items only, this app data would be available. So that's the reason I'm specifically pointing it out. So that you can choose it up, but uh, if you this is like say if you want to navigate, but if you go to your Windows R, that means your run command and paste that path, like say C users and app data, it should obviously go inside. So but if you want to physically view it up, so this is an option. Okay, so this is an option. So inside that you can go to your app data roaming npm. So that is where all the node modules that you have installed, it will be existing. Okay, and from your search bar you need to search for edit environment variables. So here only again there is one more option available. If you're all of you are using your personal laptops, then you will be the admin of your system variables, so you can set it at your system variable level. But if you're having a laptop provided by your company or something, so the system variable settings might be disabled or it might require an admin access. So that is an option that is ruled out because it's due to the compliance they kept it out. So we can't use that one anymore. So that's the reason you need to go towards your edit environment variable for your account level. So that means account level in the sense a user level. So you need to click that option. Okay, so if you don't have access to your system variable, again that's a point to note. If you don't have access to your system variable, so you need to click on this option, and then there will be something called your path, variable called path. So this is my laptop's item actually, but the same thing should be available by default. A path will be available automatically. Okay, so because like obviously you might have installed something and it should pick the default things, so path should be mandatorily available. Just search for it, and if you are using a system variable, like you can search for the path over here. So either ways it should work. Okay, and click on the path, and then you can set your variable. So you need to set what variable. So you need to copy this one and paste it over there, this part. Edit this one, edit this variable, click on the edit. Okay, and then paste this particular path over there. That's it. So if it's a Windows, this is mandatory. Then only if you go to your command prompt, you can check the version. So if you don't use that one, if you didn't set your environment variable, it might give you an error like say command not found. Okay, so that is the troubleshooting part of it. So this is how it works. So any doubt here so far till now? The installation part of your Node.js?
I tried in Mac. It is showing command not found when I tried in the terminal, even after downloading that package.
Okay, so did it install in the package?
Mm,
You can check it inside applications actually. I'm sorry, not inside applications.
It
Let
is there
me
in
see.
downloads.
Downloads. Did you drag and drop it to applications?
No, no.
Double click it. Maybe double click it. It will
No.
install. It will ask for drag and drop to application.
Okay. Thank you.
So after that installation, if you check it, it should work. Okay. Maybe how we can check it. So usually for a Mac, so I provided my name as the path over here. So here also it would be hidden actually. So most probably like there is a shortcut control dot I think. Yeah, control shift dot. So you can see over here there will be some node modules available. npm or node. Yeah, over here dot npm. So once you install it, you can find it over here .npm. So if it is available, but you need to go to the particular user's profile over here. So my Mac machine's name is my name. So I went inside, and usually it will be like this without any without showing any hidden folder. So if you want to show the hidden folder, it will be like command shift and dot, and it shows everything. Okay, maybe the shortcut will be like cmd plus shift plus dot. This will show the hidden folders in the Mac. Okay, so if you find this one, so obviously it is installed, so no issue should be there. Okay,
Okay.
this is how it works. So this is how you install your node package. So now coming to the installation part of it, so let me quickly go to the documentation and pick it up. Just a minute. Sorry, not this one. This is a simulator command. Okay, no problem. So for Appium installation is nothing but you need to give something like okay, so let's check it in the official website itself actually. So okay, so this is the official website. So whether it's going to be your Android or iOS, sorry, iOS or Windows machine, it doesn't matter actually. So you need to install it this particular command. That's it for your Windows. So let me put that command for you. So this is for your Windows. So once you install it, it should work fine. Okay, you can check the version by apm double hyphen v space double hyphen v. So it will give you the apm version. Okay, something like this. Okay, and then you need to also install your ui automator 2. So UI Automator 2 is nothing but it's a tool which is used to interact with your Android devices. So it's a must. And in order to install that one, you need to have your Java JDK. So I think like the latest version is available is 17, I think. Sorry, 21, I think. But from 17, from 8, it should work fine. I wouldn't suggest an 8 version, but Java 17, I think it is an advisable one. But let's check it up. So this is again the command to install it up, so you can install it. So maybe I'll put it in my document actually, so separate for your Windows installation. So only the installation is going to be like different in both the cases, but apart from that, the handling everything will be the same. Okay, but obviously like Android works only with Windows, Android and iOS will work with the Mac machine. So that is again is there. Okay, so installation via Node.js for Windows. Okay, npm-g and then this one. So both you need to install it. So both is like say mandatory. So don't forget to install this one up. Yeah, that's mandatory. Okay. So for your coming to your Mac machine. Okay. So just install it. We are not going to start the Appium now. So we'll just set it up everything and then we'll start the Appium part of it. after the Java. Okay, so for Mac machine, again, it's going to be a series of commands actually. So there is a list of commands available over here. So let me share it with you. Uh, Not this one. So Node.js we have installed it, and for Appium it's going to be like this for your uh, iOS. Sorry, for your Mac. So you need to give npm install -g Appium. Sorry, not Appium Doctor. Okay, you need to install Appium Doctor, but not right away. So I'll tell you. Okay, so these are the command actually. Just a minute. I think the document seems to be wrong. No problem. So let me get it. Just just give me a moment. So why specifically Mac I'm concerned is like say, so there is like say something called a homebrew available, because you need to install the homebrew for the path to be set exactly. So that's the reason. But for Windows it's not the case. We can set it up on our own. Okay, for a Mac that's a little bit headache. So you need to set it up for that. So let me quickly check it out. Just a moment, I forgot where I kept the document. Yeah, so there is a series of commands actually. So and a series of drivers that need to install. So let me show it you what is the installation. Okay, so let me list it out over here for your Mac machine. So the same command over here for Appium. Okay, for Mac machine, the first command is this one. So and to check the version again, it is same everywhere. Appium space -v. So this will check the version of Appium installed. Okay. Okay, so let me put this at the top. So these two are the major, and this one is to check, verify whether you have installed the Appium or not. That means the version to confirm it up. And for Mac, this is again the one. And then there is a list of drivers available, I would say. So how to check what are the list of drivers and what, not to miss any drivers in a Mac. So we have a command. Okay, so it will be like say Appium space driver space list. Okay, so this will list down all the drivers it requires for Appium to work. Okay, maybe for a Mac I can quickly do it up. So it's going to be like say Appium space driver space list. So it's going to list something like this. Okay, so it's going to be a simple one. Okay, so how to install it up? It's going to be simple, a generic command only. So you need to get this name. Okay, UI automator, and where should I put it down? So I need to put it something like say Appium space driver space install space and the name of the driver. So for example, what would I do? It is like say, so I would copy this one. So I don't want to reinstall it, so that's why I don't do it up over here. I give it like UI installer over here, paste it. That's it. Okay, the same thing can be used in your Windows as well if it doesn't work as desired. Okay, so this is how you do it up. So the list of drivers, so this is specifically for your Mac actually, but if it doesn't work in Windows, this command whatever I've given, so the same thing you can try it over here, but don't try the XUI test, your Mac 2 and all. Those are specific to your Mac libraries. Okay, for Mac this is specifically required, so that's why, because this has started to work only from your Appium version 2.0 and greater. Okay, if it is lesser than Appium 2.0, because nowadays we don't use anything, because the Java version is keep on updating and your Appium also needs to update. So that's the reason, like I'm specifically telling you, like this is after Appium 2.0 version. So you saw it in our official website, right? Appium. So it is obviously like 2.3 now. Yeah, it's 2.3. So from the 2 version, this is how we used to install it up. Okay, so I hope this is clear, and this is how you need to install it up.
So only I have to install APM driver, install EUI automated 2. That's it.
Yes,
Not other
for
ones.
your Windows.
For
Okay,
Mac,
for Mac we need all these things.
all these things.
All these things.
What is the
Yes.
purpose of npm I minus g APM? The command
Uh, Sorry, where is it?
uh,
npm
I
I minus.
minus
The
g,
first command.
the first
This
command.
command you mean? Yeah, this is the exact Appium that will be installed. So these are the supporting library files.
So first we had to do this, the
This
first
one,
command, then we had to do the APM driver install.
Appium. Yeah, these are
Mm,
the supporting files.
okay.
Okay. So
Arvind,
for
will you be
Windows,
sharing this document? Because
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
not
yes,
able
of course.
to install,
Yes,
so
yeah.
maybe before the class I'll install this.
Yep, sure, sure, sure. Yeah, it will be shared. So I'll put it in a Git repo, like something like this. Maybe by tomorrow morning you can get it actually. So I'll install it inside this Git repo. Maybe let me show it to you a sample. So this for another project actually. So I'll create something like say document like this. So just you need to go inside and there will be a list of documents. Just click on the document you want and download it. That's it. So it should be available for you to access maybe by tomorrow morning earliest. Yeah, it should be there. Yes,
Sure. And you're sharing the repo information, right?
yes, repo information. Yeah, yes, I'll be doing that. Okay, so this is how we can do it about. Okay, so all these things we need to install it. So just to summarize for today, like we have just gone through the installation process of Appium. So again, this will be dealt before we start our Appium. So this is just an heads up actually. So again, this will be we'll be going through this one, but the part will be much quicker than this one. So just this is an heads up, like you can do your workaround and all, play through this stuff so that you can get a clarity. Okay. So this is all I had for today, and tomorrow we'll be creating a simulator with Android and XUI test, and we'll be checking it up. Yeah, what are the some of the ADB commands I have? I'll be sharing it with you, so you can access it and you can try to install applications, and why iOS is not allowing side loading and what is side loading. So everything will be checking it up. Okay. So any doubts we can discuss it without. Sorry, I forgot to see this one. Can we get screenshot with automation for workflows? Can you elaborate it? Can you elaborate this one? Like screenshot of automation workflow means maybe you want the step-by-step process. Ah, every step. Yeah, got it. Got it. Yeah, I'll do that. Okay, so if any doubts, like let me know. If not, we can close it for today, and tomorrow we'll be checking on how to create a simulator in Android and iOS. Yeah, and couple of ADB and XUI test commands. So the documents, it will be coming it to you maybe earliest by tomorrow morning. So I'll try to do it by tonight. If not morning, it should be there in the WhatsApp actually, the group.
Arvind, I tried, but I'm getting an error,
Mhm.
access error, permission
Any,
denied to the.
can you ping like say what is the error maybe in our chat?
Okay, sure.
Yeah. our go to meeting, just you can copy and paste it.
Version it is asking to update to 10.2.5.
npm, okay, okay, so your npm, I think your npm version is 10, I think actually 10.2.3. so just what you give is like, say we gave a command for npm, right? uh, okay, no problem. So npm we can install it actually. So what you do, so you're having an windows or a mac machine?
Mac machine.
Mac machine, okay. I think from the homebrew you can update it. npm, let me give you the command actually. Just give me a moment. So just you can type like, say npm. So can you tell me like npm hyphen v, if you type what do you get it? So I think it
Uh,
should be 10.2.
npm hyphen version 10.2.3 I got.
Yeah, so what do? You type this command in sudo npm install. Maybe I'm typing it actually, so
Mhm.
you can get it at the latest space hyphen g. Okay, yeah. Just type this command. It should install the latest npm, and then you try the apm. Yeah,
Okay,
because
thank you.
you're 10 versions below the current version, so that's the reason. So any doubts so far till now? If no doubts, feel free to drop off, and tomorrow again we'll check it back.
Thank you.
So now it got updated to 10.2.5.
Yep, sure.
So still I am getting error.
Maybe once you can restart your machine or something. Maybe just
So
close the terminal. Close the terminal and
okay,
reopen the terminal. Yeah. Close the terminal, reopen the terminal. Just give npm, sorry, node space double hyphen version, and because if you are on the same terminal, it will not refresh.
mhm. I open new one.
Mm,
The error is different.
different, huh?
Error access permission denied from make directory user slash local dash lib node underscore modules apm.
Okay.
Uh,
Can you ping
can
it in
I
chat?
can I share the screen? If
Yes,
you
yes.
provide the access, I can get. I think.
Yeah, maybe I'll stop the recording, then you can share it. Yeah, just.